Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. If you are just seeing my face for the first time, my name is AJ, and in this channel, I share everything fashion, design, business, and style. So do well to check out our other videos, like those videos, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And to my amazing returning subscribers, I'm saying a very big welcome to you guys. Today, we have a very interesting topic before us. We are diving into a very important topic that some of us struggled with at some point, and the topic is how to charge for your sewing work as a fashion designer. So, whether you're a beginner or you're a professional, it is very important that you know how to allocate prices for your work because it's going to help your business grow, stay profitable, and it's also going to reflect the value that you bring as a fashion designer. Let's be real, pricing is very important as a fashion designer. Some of us confuse underpricing with value. We feel like the more we underprice or the more we charge, let me not call it underprice, the more we charge low prices, we are going to attract more customer. But I want you to know that underpricing not only affects your profit, it also affects how these customers perceive your brand. So if you've ever found yourself feeling tired or stressed out after a sewing project, but you feel like the result you're getting is not worth it, then this video is for you. To go straight into the topic for today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 key elements for your sewing work. The first one is costing or the costs of your materials. You want to go to the basics. You don't want to only charge for your fabric or the linings, the major materials you're going to use. You want to go down to the basic, even as small as thread or as cheap as thread is. You also want to add it in your costing. So the costing includes the materials that you're going to be using to make that outfit. What are you going to be needing? The lining, the thread, the zipper, the interfacing. Add everything you need with the prices. Even if even if your client is the one bringing the material, that's the major fabric, you also need to ensure that you add other things because you're not just going to the fabric is not just going to sew itself. You're going to buy thread and other things. So you want to ensure that you also add those in your costing. The next one is time and labor. Like the popular narrative or the popular saying, time is money or time na money. So you want to ensure that you charge for your time. Now, this particular element, I'm going to be sectioning it in two parts. So you're either charging for your time or you're charging for your labor. Labor, most people will call it workmanship. So if you're not charging for your time, you should charge for your labor. That's your workmanship. You can put prices on every hour spent on a client's outfit, or you can charge for the overall labor. You can put specific prices on specific designs. Like if it's a dress, I make dress for this amount. So it's going to help you to be faster while negotiating prices because you already know that this is a dress, it's not technical, so this is the amount for it. But if you're charging based on your time, you already have a specific amount for every hour. So you're looking at the dress, okay, I can make this dress in 3 hours. My charge per hour is this, so times three, that's the price. Okay, I'm still going to do a breakdown. I'm going to do a breakdown example where I'm going to be allocating prices, sample prices to them. I don't know if you understand, so just follow me. Let's continue this. The next point is skill and complexity of the design. There are designs that are very complex, even though they are just dresses, they are complex. You know, as a fashion designer, that it's going to take you more time to make this outfit. So you want to ensure that you also charge based on complexity. If it's a simple dress, you can go with your regular price. But if the design is a bit complex, for example, corsets, as you know, fashion designers that make corsets, their prices are always higher. That's because corset is very complex. It takes time, it takes days to make. So also charge for your complexity. Aside corsets, there are even other basic styles that have complex designs. So you want to ensure that you allocate prices for the complexity of the style as well. This point is very, very important for fashion designers because this particular part is going to determine whether you'll be able to sort out other aspect of your business as a fashion designer, and this is overhead costs. Overhead cost is the amount of money you spend on a monthly, daily, or yearly basis to ensure that your business runs successfully. So you want to add that to your pricing as well. You want to add that to the amount that you're going to charge your customer. Most times it's not always very big, depending on your kind of establishment. So for your overhead cost, you want to add your rent. Adding your rent, I don't mean that if your rent is 2 million naira, you add 2 million naira to your client's fees. No, no, no. You just have to do your calculation. So if I'm For example, this is how you can do it. If I'm going to be making if I'm going to be making 30 clients clothes in a month, so you've done your analysis on an average, okay, let's say on an average maybe 20 outfits, you're making 20 outfits, and your rent per month is, let's say, 40,000 naira. So do your math. 40,000 naira divided by 20. So you already know that for a client's outfit, your rent that's supposed to be entering it is supposed to be 2,000 naira, right? So for each outfit, 2,000 naira, so that you'll be able to accumulate your rent at the end of the month. But for some cases, it may not be up to that. So just based on your establishment, do your calculation. The next is utility, and for this utility, I always section it into electricity, fuel, things you use daily for your client's outfits. So you can add it. You can add utility as 1,000 naira or 500 naira, depending on your usage and the amount you spend on it. Then the next one is sewing machine maintenance. It is very essential. It is very important. I remember there was a client outfit I was making recently, and my sewing machine just got faulty. Immediately it just got faulty, and I was in that stage where I was broke, because for my own personal money I didn't have money, and I was really thinking of what to do. I was thinking of borrowing, until I told myself that you have business money somewhere. Go and check how much you have in that business account, because I don't really open it, it's just there. So go and check how much you have there. And I went and I was like, oh my god, this saved me. This saved me. If you like me to do another video talking about how you can allocate your business money, your personal money, salary, that finance aspect, just let me know. I'm not a financial expert, but I know one or two that is helping me as a fashion designer, and I don't mind sharing. So coming back to this topic, you want to ensure that you add sewing machine maintenance, because these things are machines. They don't behave like humans. They can't tell you when they want to pack up or when they want to misbehave. So you just have to be insured. You have to be insured, okay? The next one is transportation. You also need to add transportation. If that customer is coming to your establishment, you can choose not to. If the customer is going to come to your establishment, no problem. But if you are going to be doing delivery, if you are going to be sourcing for materials, you have to ensure that you also add transportation to your bill. The last key element I'm going to be talking about is profit margin. I feel like this is where so many of us as fashion designers miss it. We just charge, okay, workmanship, okay, I'm charging for time, okay, this is the costing and workmanship, but we don't add profits. Now, all these things I'm saying, I'm not telling you to be telling your customer that this is my profit, this is my utility. No, no, no. It's going to be in your own calculation as a fashion designer. So aside your workmanship, aside your utility, always ensure that you also add profit, because profit is your reward for running the business. Okay, profit is the reward for running the business. Some people may be saying, if I add all these things now, won't the prices be so expensive? I'm still going to come down to that. I'm going to come down to that. And it's not, I want you to know that it's not cheap to run a fashion design business. Even the material, fabrics are expensive, utilities are expensive. There's so much that go into making an outfit. So you want to ensure that you don't run out of business and you're giving value for the amount you are charging. For your profit margin, you can make it at least 10% to 40%, depending on your business positioning. So let's do a breakdown. For this, I already have a written breakdown here, so I'm going to be reading from my notes, but you're going to be looking at it from your screen. Are we cool? So if you're making a shift dress, let's say you're making an Ankara shift dress, this is how you break down your costing. So this is how you break down your costing to charge your customer. So the fabrics you need, the cost of materials. The first one is Ankara fabric. So let's say Ankara fabric is 4,500 naira. Let's say that's the amount you're getting it. Then for the shift dress, you need a zipper, and the zip is 500 naira. You also need a thread that is going for 200 naira, and you need an interfacing that is going for 500 naira. So the total is 5,700. So that's the cost of materials you'll be spending for that outfit. That's 5,700. Now for labor, I'm going to bring labor and time, but this is all. It is not and, it is all. So if you're charging for labor, this is the fee. If you're charging for your time, this is the fee. So if you're charging for labor is, let's say for the shift dress, your workmanship is 3,000 naira. It can be more, it can be less. So this one is sample. Before you say That's too cheap or that's too expensive, depending on you. Like I said, expensive is relative and cheap is relative. So for your labor, 3,000 naira. For your time, let's say you've looked at it, it will take me 3 hours to make this outfit, and 1 hour for me is 1,000 naira. So for the 3 hours, that's 3,000 naira. Then your overhead costs, that's your utility, your maintenance, your rent. Another aspect of overhead costs you need to factor in is, do you have workers? How many workers do you have? How much do you pay them per month? Do your calculation, do your division and everything, and add it as well, because you're going to pay your workers. Also factor your salary if you are on salary. So for the overhead cost here, I only added utility and machine maintenance. So I added utility 2,000 and machine maintenance 2,000 as well. So the total of overhead cost is 4,000 naira. To get the total price or the total cost, 5,700 for cost of materials plus 3,000 naira for labor. Let's say we are charging based on labor, or 3,000 naira based on time. So choose one, 3,000 naira. That's 8,700. Then overhead cost, that is 4,000 naira. That's 12,700. For the profit, we are going to be doing 20% profit margin. And 20% of 12,700 is 2,540 naira. So adding it to about 12,700, the final price is 15,240 naira. Final price is 15,240 naira. No, you cannot be telling your customer 15,240 naira. So you can either round up or round down. For me here in this book, I did round up. So round up is 15,500 or 16,000 naira, depending on your brand position. So this is the amount you're going to be charging your customer if you're the one getting the fabric. But if you're not the one getting the fabric, just do the total costing of the materials minus this final price and give it to your customer. Okay, so I hope that was easy to get from your screen. Now these are things you should not do as a fashion designer when you're putting finance in mind for your business. The first one is, don't copy another tailor's format blindly. Because this tailor charges this amount doesn't mean you should, depending on your business. So don't copy another tailor's format blindly. Do what works for you, what works for your clients, what works for your business. As far as your business is running smoothly, you're not running at loss. Do what works for you. Okay. The second one is, don't feel guilty about charging your value. I know it can be a lot, especially people that are in Nigeria and this time of the economy. You want to factor in so many things, but as far as it's your value, name your price. Talk up, say your speak your value, speak your price. Okay. And the earlier you start learning to do that, the better for you. Or should I say, the earlier we start learning to do that, the better for us as fashion designers. Then the third one is, don't undercharge your value, don't underprice your business or your work. The downside to it is that your customers are going to perceive you wrongly. Aside even you running at loss, your customers are going to perceive you wrongly, and it's going to hurt your business in the long run. So if this is your price, do well to state it. And it's a wrap. That's how you charge for your sewing work as a fashion designer. The more organized you are with your pricing, the more your business is going to flourish, and your customers are going to take your brand more seriously. Let me know in the comment section, do you have a pricing format, or have you at any point struggled to charge your worth? I would love to hear from you. If this video has helped you, do well to give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel for so many amazing fashion business tips and also fashion design tips. Until next time, do well to stay stylish, do well to stay happy, and don't forget, charge your worth. Bye guys.